Hello friends, so this is going to be a quickie for all of my sitting down a lot friends, which is most of us. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to move a little bit through flexion and extension. Flexion is when we move into the midline. Extension is when we move away from that midline, right? Think of fetal position, moving towards fetal position. I think that's the simplest way to remember it in the brain. So on the edge of your chair, don't have a chair with wheels, please. Hands on the thighs, simple cat-cow from seated. Shoulder blades down the back and the chest reaches forward. Right, and then when you exhale, you're going to pull your belly back around the spine, let the chin tuck in a little bit, and just move back and forth at your own pace. As always, the thing I will call out is, what are you looking for in your practice? If you're looking for something to calm you, to soothe you, to bring you back in and ground you and center you, a slower breath is going to be really helpful. If you're just feeling so lethargic and like you have no motivation, you may move a little quicker with a little bit quicker of a breath. Play with it, find out what's appropriate, right? But if you've got a lot of anxiety, fast breathing is not usually a great tool, right? It tends to move us towards the stress response. And then the next time that you reach the chest forward, you're going to go ahead and you're going to bring your hands back. And hopefully your chair has some kind of edge on it that you can grab onto comfortably without the shoulders jacking up to the ears, right? And then you have two options here. You can just simply bend the elbows in and towards each other and let that open the chest. And I just pull slightly against my chair to help reach my chest forward. My rib flares, be cautious. And then I'm going to go like I'm a hood ornament. What do you mean by that? I'm going to straighten my arms. I'm going to lean my body a little forward, right? I'm going to move my butt back so I have enough weight on my chair that I'm not going to pull myself out or fall off the chair. And then I'm going to pull against the chair, but I'm going to use that as a little bit extra leverage to reach my chest forward. Now my ribs really want to flare in this one, so I'm going to keep my ribs knitted in, and I'm going to try and isolate this between my shoulder blades as much as possible, right? Reaching through the crown of the head. If it's okay with your neck, you might even think of me gently pulling, or like we did last week, I think it was in class, pulling the skull a little bit off of the neck, so to speak, so the neck gains length. Chin might lift up slightly, but don't go too crazy with that. We don't want to completely close off all the backside of the vertebrae of the neck. Take another 2 inhales. Inhale into the chest. And exhale, soften. So really try to widen your chest, even the side ribs, right? Inhale, really pull air into the lungs. And exhale. Now I'm going to use my arms to pull me back a little bit for the weight factor so we don't tip the chair over. Bring the hands down. And then to go to the other side, a little bit deeper, so to speak, we're going to interlace our hands, push our palms forward. Now, if you're somewhere where you're by a wall, move over to a wall and use the wall. It's pretty awesome what you can do, and I'll show that version. But if you don't have a wall, you can just imagine you have one, right? I can push into that wall, and I can really use it to round my upper back here, right? I can push into an imaginary wall and get the same effect. But let your shoulder blades move around the rib cage, protraction, also a little bit up towards the ears, elevation, and let that place between the shoulder blades just expand. Now I want you to breathe into your back side of your ribs, and the side too, actually. Exhale, but one more time. Inhale into the back, right? Be at the back of the lungs. And exhale, put your hands down. Inhale, go ahead and come back up to center. Now we're going to get out of the chair. And we're going to walk around behind it. If you don't have a chair that's stable, you could always put your hands against a wall at hip height, shunk, or you could be on a countertop. Countertop is my favorite version of downward dog. They all get different things, but I think the countertop is a really effective one. You're going to put your hands wide on the chair or on the counter or on the wall at about hip height, hopefully something like that. And you're going to start to walk back. Again, you don't want a chair with wheels. I say it because I had someone tell me they tried it anyway. Don't do that. My heels, my ankles are underneath my hips-ish. My knees are a little bit bent. I'm straightening my arms, pushing down into my palms. I'm knitting my ribs. I'm toning my abdomen. And I am trying to go for neither flexion nor extension. I want my spine to be as neutral, what I call neutral as possible, and as elongated. So now I want you to imagine that I put a wall right at your head, the crown of the head. And I want you to push the crown of the head into that wall. And then I want you to imagine that I put your buttocks bones against a wall, right? And I want you to push your buttocks bones into the wall behind you. So I've got two walls, one on either side, right? One on the crown of the head and one on the buttocks bones. And you're pushing those walls apart. Take another breath. Now, if it's available, you're just going to simply bend the knees enough that you can bring the hands down onto the ground in front of you. If that's not available, walk in a little bit, come off of the chair safely, and then come down and do a forward fold, right? And sorry, the microphone just moved, and it's right next to my mouth, so I apologize about that. Soften the neck, the tongue, the jaw, the brow, hanging down in. Knees are a little bit bent. Again, don't let it be about the legs right now. It's about the spine at this moment. And then from there, you're going to come up just a little bit, interlace your hands behind your back, reach your knuckles either just off of the spine a little bit, shoulders up to the sky a little bit, and some of you may fold in as if you could lay your ribs on your thighs, the knuckles reaching up a little more towards the sky. And I am holding my head a little away from my microphone, but don't you do that. Let your chin move into your chest and let your neck be soft once you get in. Take another breath, and then reach those knuckles back, reach those knuckles back. Bring yourself all the way up to standing. Bring the arms down by the side. And pausing, standing up nice and tall. Maybe closing the eyes or not. Noticing the effects of that little mini practice. They can be powerful. They don't have to be long to be powerful. Bring those hands together in front of your chest. Inhale. Exhale, bow your head into your heart. Just taking a moment of gratitude that you gave yourself these few minutes in your day. Namaste, friends. May you be well, and may all beings everywhere be well.